Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Polyglot grind again as usual. This video is going to be very short. I just wanted to talk about how you don't actually need to know a lot of the language before you can actually start using it and communicating with people. So as you guys know, if you watched my other video, I am currently in Serbia, and I'm also currently learning Turkish. Turkish is the only language that I'm actively learning right now. But despite that, and I know it's going to sound very ironic because I'm in Serbia but I'm learning Turkish, I'll explain all of that. So I didn't actually plan to come to Serbia right now. I just needed a country to go to because my visa in the previous country was running out. So I needed a place to go, and then Serbia was open, so I decided to come here. And because of that, because of the fact that this was not planned, I didn't have a chance to properly sit down and learn Serbian, because my plan was to actually come to Serbia, but in the future. So I wanted to learn Serbian first and then come to Serbia later on, but I'm here earlier than I expected, so I didn't have a chance. So what I've been doing instead is I've been trying to learn as many words and phrases as possible. I've been asking locals and so on. I've been looking up words online, you know, words like I want, I would like, or I want, you want, I can, is there, where is, basic phrases like that, left, right, straight, and so on. And I find that even if you make grammatical mistakes, you can still use these words in many different ways to still get your meaning across. And then you're not going to understand everything that the person is saying back to you, but you can still guess a lot. People will just naturally use hand gestures and so on when explaining where you have to go or what you have to do, especially when they see that you're kind of struggling. That's if they don't speak English. Some people will just naturally switch to English. But I wanted to make it a mission to speak as much Serbian as possible while I'm here, even though I'm not going to do the best job. And it's been working so far. For example, I went to McDonald's just a second ago, and I tried my best to do everything in Serbian, even though I made mistakes, even though there was a chance that the person might not understand me. We did have a slight miscommunication at one point, but the lady helped me, and she actually taught me the words that I was missing, which is the second point. When you don't know a word, a lot of the time the local will just teach you the word. And then not only do you now know where to walk or where to go, or you've ordered your food, now you have a new vocabulary term that you can use next time. For example, I learned the phrase for to go because I forgot, and then the lady asked me for here to go, but she asked in Serbian, and she kind of pointed to her location for here and then pointed towards the door while she was saying to go. So I was able to guess it through context, and you can actually guess a lot through context. That's one thing that I've noticed while I've been here. You can learn a lot of words naturally through context. It's not easy, but it definitely is doable. And the other thing is, I've noticed, especially here in Serbia, the locals seem so touched when people actually take the time to learn the language, or at least try. And I heard from a few locals that normally a lot of travelers or just people who move here will move and then just not learn any Serbian at all, despite living here for a couple years. So when they see people try, they're touched. I remember, for example, a couple days ago, I was looking for something and I saw 3 Serbian men sitting down and I was lost. So I went up to them and I asked in Serbian where the place I was looking for was, and it almost seemed like he was going to start responding in English. And then he noticed that I was speaking Serbian and he was really taken aback for a second. And then he told me where to go, and then I just saw him just sitting there just like looking around like, wow. Not wow that my Serbian's good, because it's not, but he just seemed really touched that I went through the effort of asking him in Serbian. And I've noticed that a lot here. If I'm eating something or I'm ordering food, they'll speak to me in English first, but then I'll try to speak in Serbian, and then you can always see the little smile on their face, like the wow, he actually tried to learn how to order his food in Serbian. So that's another bonus. 1, you get to practice a new language, and 2, you get to put a smile on people's faces, because people really seem to like when people put the effort into learning about their culture and language. So the purpose of this video is more or less just to say that if you're learning a new language and you're afraid to start speaking, don't be afraid. Just go out and try to use it. Even if you only know a little bit, a lot of the time the other person will more or less be able to understand you. I have had a few situations where I've had people just look at me kind of like, what did you say? And then, you know, I have to pull up the translator. But most of the time, I find that you can at least get the message across. Understanding the person is a little bit more complicated if you don't have a lot of passive vocabulary, but through hand gestures and, you know, kind of acting things out, I think that that's a barrier that can be passed. But overall, you can honestly start communicating with a very rudimentary knowledge of the language. So if you're learning a new language and you're afraid to start speaking, trust me, just go out there and try. You can go out, try and speak to someone who might just bomb, but when you go back home after that, you know exactly what you need to work on, and you'll also know what words and phrases you were lacking. So you'll know what you need for next time, pretty much. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say with this video. Serbian is a beautiful language, and I'm really looking forward to learning it in the future, but for now, I'll be focusing on Turkish. But anyway, I hope this video is able to motivate at least one person. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.